Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to today's webinar on the topic Exploiting Web Applications with Live Demos, led by our Senior Cybersecurity Analyst, Jeet Rajkumar. Hi, Jeet.
Hi, Anurag. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
According to statistics, web applications have become the #1 target for exploitation of vulnerabilities, and unfortunately, all kinds of software are prone to security breaches. So it's very important to understand the cybersecurity aspects of web applications. So without any further ado, I request Jeet Raj to kindly take over. Over to you, Jeet.
Hi. Thank you. Uh, Hello, all. My name is Jeet Rajkumar. So I'm working as a trainer in Institute of Information Security and as and projects in NII. So these are my few skills and few of my certifications which I work on. Okay, so let's move it. So today, first, our main agenda is on case studies and application challenges like NoSQL and server-side injection. So our main objective is uh, due to modern applications, we won't find regular kind of attacks or like a basic SQL injection or OS command injection. The reason is people nowadays are moving into what you call DevOps, DevSecOps. So what happens is when they iterate more, so the basic vulnerabilities they will be either the testers will come across or either the third either the development team will come across. Okay, so in this case we'll be moving into the see this is there, this kind of attacks are already there, but what happens is the huge explosion. The reason is you have big data, you have IoT, you have cloud, and if you see that the adoption of NoSQL is higher. Okay, and simultaneously, if you want to try a different kind of attack, normally when you get a from client side, right? So either they will give you 4 days or 5 days, and immediately what we do is we take up the list of attacks and we start doing testing. So basically we'll check minimum A1 to A10. So sometimes the people sometimes you will not get any bugs or sometimes so the reason is we have to look for different kind of attack. Even it might be a low attack, but it can give you large amount of information. So that's why if you see here 80% stolen credentials, and one more thing is if you see here the JSON format, okay, if anything is being exposed, okay, so you will be able to what do you get, gather information. And second thing is if you look into MongoDB, can you see it, 23k, okay, this is one of the samples, and there are many of the things you can find it out. Okay, many new technologies. The reason is it is very complex right now. The people will be going for example, you have the big data, cloud, on-premise, on-prem. Okay, so you'll be having more things. So what people will do is uh, when you have multiple combinations or complex infrastructure, so you might miss out things. So that's where we have to look for. Okay, okay, let's move. Okay, so I believe everybody aware on what is injection and all. I believe NoSQL injection also. So every time when we get an application, immediately what we do is we test for SQL injection, like one equal one apostrophe or one equal to one things. Okay, whatever the application. Okay, so that is a well-known one. But what we have to take care is like the new kind of an applications. So let's say IoT devices which is using backend databases, or big data data applications which use massive amount of NoSQL. Okay, so when you come across these kind of an application, okay, so we need to be sure that okay, A1 to A10 we are checking. Okay, so once we find out backend what type of database it is, and we start doing an attacks. Okay, so the other thing is we have to consider either your application can be both web API or a web application, or sometimes only API or sometimes only web application. Again, it depends on the customer. Okay, so you need to understand what type of an application or backend database is there, and what are the, this is very important, what format they are stored. Okay, a document, key value, graph. Okay, so otherwise it will be very difficult. So NoSQL injection means it is not that every injection will be same. Okay, and second thing is yeah, like again, what type of backend is it? Redis, MongoDB, Couchbase, and how they are communicated. Okay, either XML or JSON. I believe most of the time it is in JSON format. Okay, so so you need to take into consideration all these things. Okay, so when you're doing an attack, so let's say what I have to do. So for example, let's go for MongoDB in the case study. So out of document oriented graph and key value pair. Okay, so this is a document oriented database. Okay, so you can again do the attack using JSON or JSON. Okay, uh, if you take any application like mean stack or full stack, whatever it may be. Okay, and other thing is the same concepts only, where you put malicious code. Okay, and you extract the information from the database. Okay, here also the same concepts, and here we are talking about methods, like for example union, select, whatever they are telling, the same concepts which we are applying. So here what we are trying to do is, like, first initially whenever I'm having a Java application or any API kind of a thing, we are trying to understand like what is the what are the endpoints. So either you can run a tool, or either you can have an mostly you'll have a tool like Burp, you have fuzzers, or you can in online there are many fuzzers. You can use the API fuzzers to find out the endpoints. Okay, then what we are doing is, then we'll try to bypass. Okay, I believe everybody has seen this, but it's just to understand as a basic. So when you come across any application, what or how do you approach, and what steps you can take. So the main reason is whenever you get an application, so it may be 5 days or 6 days, that is very time bound. Okay, so when you get a list from the client or from your company, like 15 types of attacks, so how do you manage your time and how do you do it? Okay, so the same time when you do a recon of your application, you can look for rate limiting, or whether it has an authorization or not, or all this stuff you can check it out. Okay, so let's go to demo. uh, okay okay so this is one so here one application is there. Okay, so I believe based on endpoints, like for example we are aware like API version 1 definitely will be a login or something. Okay, login. Let's find any users. Okay, so if you see here, okay, I can find information. Am I visible? Let me make it a little more. Yeah. So we are aware, like whenever you develop an application, so you put it in the version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, like that. Okay, so you can try and find out many versions you have the details or not. Okay, let me try 2. Okay, not there. Let me try 1. Okay, so here I can see the user and I can find the user ID. Okay, so 1 is a basic one, login, it is there. Okay, and again is users, and again let me see, register. Okay, not found. Okay, cool. So what we'll try to do is, first let me use Postman. Okay, let me go here. So what I will do is, first let me copy it. Okay, and let me paste it. Let me check whether login is there. Okay, uh, okay, let me try the post one. And yeah, so headers, you have to mention application connection type. Okay, let me go here. Okay, so you have to mention here content type, application JSON. Okay, so I'm aware like what are the different kinds of the different users and password. Okay, so first let me log in using one payload. I mean user, normal user, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, so I made sure that I have this thing. Okay, let me copy this first one. So that those are the user. Okay, so let me first right now I'm aware about the password. So okay, so what we'll do is, so what I'm trying to do here is, whenever we are trying the username and password, right? So what we can do is, can you see it? Can you see this dollar GT and equal to some blank I have given. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to bypass in a login. Okay, so I tried some stuff, it's not working, the username and password. Okay, I found the user which is present there. Okay, so all I have to do is I have to copy this, the particular one. Instead of password, I'm trying to give this one. Let's see. Where is it go? True. Okay, so you're able to see it is logged in. Okay, so the reason is, can you see this GT? So the GT is greater than null. So okay, so it's always true. So that's why whenever you give username and password, you're able to log in inside. Okay, now you might be asking question like, the reason here we are talking about is, when you are considering a SQL language, okay, you will have string concatenation. Okay, whereas when you have a MongoDB or any kind of a NoSQL, you will have where, find, where both the users will be clubbed together. So let me bring this slide to you. Okay, so how do I know this? Can you see it? So these are the references which I have taken from the MongoDB database. So what I did is I just took the what are the different types of operators. So these are the operators which where you can use it. Okay. So in case if they are using find, okay, the collection param, I mean the backend, okay, if they're using find, can you see here? So it allows the query and the projection. Okay, so these are the different operators. So ultimately what I did is I just gave username and I gave this GT, okay, to log in inside, so that without username password I was able to log in. So if you see below here, can you see down here? So single quote 1 equal to 1, so it is almost equal to the same thing, because in MongoDB this greater than symbol is equal to what do you call the null. Okay, that's why it returns a true value. Okay, so that's why if I'm able to try, I'm able to log in inside. Okay, so this is how so before trying this you can reference it. So there are many GitHub details are there where you can check all those things. So let me try one more thing. Not reload. So let's try without using password. Let me try this also. See, it is allowing. again not equal to null. Okay, again it's true, and it will take the first user. Okay, so here I'm not mentioning the user. Okay, in previous GT I have mentioned what you call uh, GT with user, and not equal to I'm using with the what do you call, with no user, no password. Okay, but I'm able to log in. So these are some different methods you can see when you're doing a testing. So always I recommend you to do is, like, go to the particular operation and try to see what type of libraries are there, so that you can try to use this. Okay, cool. Let me go to the site here. So if you want to find any other details, I believe, like security misconfigurations and all the stuff. So let me go here. Yeah. One thing is, there has to be an authorization header if you are trying to log in or something. So right now what we are doing is we just went and we are able to log in with the user. Okay. So usually JWT token should be there. So whenever you're doing an API kind of a thing where you need a help of JWT token to authenticate yourself. Okay. Yeah, so that is one. That's what I want to talk about. I mean, the MongoDB. Okay, so if to be very simple, so if you want to bypass any MongoDB kind of an application or NoSQL application, check for the query and parameters and what kind of commands underlying they are using it, and try the same. Okay, and you will be able to get inside. Okay, this is one. And second is the Couchbase uh, kind of an application. Okay, where again the database is stored in form of documents. Okay, and here we need to be very careful, like same like MySQL server and SQL server. So whenever you make any union select or something like that, right, what you do, you put command at the end, right, so you'll be able to log in. So here we are not doing that same thing. Okay, here we are not doing any command section. Okay, and let's and again so one more thing is, in Couchbase database, you have different concepts. Like for a very good example, in schema, when you take off SQL in relational database, so under table you'll have one username and password. Okay, so no other table can access the particular table. Okay, but whereas in NoSQL database, in Couchbase, so every key, I mean every or you can tell us tables or something will be able to access by all the servers, because Couchbase databases are being used in the form of big data. Okay, so when you're using a kind of a big data, there'll be heavy what do you call heavy use. So that time we have to be very careful, like how these guys are implementing the database and how they are storing the information. Okay, and mostly, yeah, you can find it in the big data kind of an applications where they're trying to use this scenarios. Okay, so let me first go to the application. Okay.
Uh, Jeet, I guess your voice was not audible.
Yeah, is it clear right now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Okay, so if you see here right now, I have one more application. Okay, so this is related to Couchbase. Okay, let me, so how this application works, let me try to put some value here. Okay, so whenever I give store location city equal to New York, okay, I'm getting all kind of information like this. Okay, so only related to New York or something. Okay. So now let's try. So when you're trying an attack on Couchbase DB, it is the same. Okay. Just try and a single code first. Okay. Okay. Can you see here? You are getting almost all the information. Okay. So try to give a single. Okay. Let me try like this. Uh, you are, okay. So I'm just trying to find out what kind of database they are having. Okay. So if you see here, can you see the response? So this kind of a response is to identify what kind of database you're having. So this kind of a response is nothing but this is like the Couch database response. So when you see the MongoDB, right, you saw JSON only two username and password. So similarly, what we are trying to do is we are trying to find out for this what do you call Couch database. Okay, so now I have an I got this username error details. Okay, so now what I can do is um,
Jeet, I guess your mic is away from your voice.
okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, so okay, so now let me go back and let me take the okay. So okay, if you see, I will explain to you what this code does. Okay. Now, okay, so now let me put this code here. So initially, once I found out, what I'm trying to do is this space. Okay, let me take out one. Yeah. Okay. So here, what I'm trying to do is, uh, I think you have seen in SQL. So what you normally do, you normally send union select one equal to one or union select information schema in SQL injections. And what you have done in MongoDB, so whenever you have any user details, okay, so what you did, you gave some different query operators, right? Like GT, greater than GT, null, I mean not equal to, okay. So these are the different approaches which you taken before, okay. So now when you are coming to Couch database, so the same thing, okay, you can pass the methods, okay, and simultaneously you can pass select union also, okay, you can do the same thing. So now you can tell me like so what I'm trying to do here. So simple thing, single quote or one equal to one, what I'm doing, same thing I'm doing here. So here the error or so encode JSON. So this is a one more inbuilt method, okay. I'm not passing any value here, so that what I'm trying to get here is, so whenever this JSON encode executes, okay, so I'm trying to get the whole value, okay. So let me try here. Okay, so if you see here, I'm getting a lot of information, okay. So now your question will arise like how we are doing this, okay. So let me go to the here, can you see it? So this is a database or the references which I have taken, okay, from the website, okay. So if you see here, so here if you send an encode JSON, what are the value you are giving, your expected result you will get here, okay. So similarly, we should understand what that result you are getting back, correct. So so here you see the data store, namespace, key spaces, and documents. Okay, so these are the information which is present in that particular database. Okay, so that's what we are extracting. Okay, so it's not like what we are doing in MongoDB or MySQL. Okay, I told you, right? In MongoDB, what we did username and password, we bypassed it. And in when you come into SQL injection, what we will do, we will get schema and all this stuff. And the third thing, what I told you is in the one of the slide which I was referring, it is a schema less, where one table might be accessible to other tables. Okay, because of big data things. So if you see here, these are the hierarchy structure. So the result, whatever you're giving, right, single code, encode, or 1 equal to 1 or something. Okay, this is what you're expecting, the whole result. Okay, so inside that encode, that JSON, right, you can give some values. Okay, so that you can extract the particular value. So if you see your key space, what they're telling is it's just a mapping. Okay, it's like a in which database what kind of a table is present. Okay, so it's like a map collection. Okay, so this is how, so this is very important to understand, and this is available in their site. Okay, so now let's go back. Okay, so that's why if you see here, so when you give like this, can you see, you will get all the information when you give encode dot JSON. Okay, so you'll be able to get all this. So now let me try in that. One second. Let us, so now let us try the key space. Okay, so these are some different commands you can get it. Okay, so let me fetch the key spaces, okay, which we are trying to get. Okay, so now let me go and let me try here. So now I'm trying the union one, the same one. Okay, the system. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the key spaces again true, whatever. So to get the all the result. Okay, single quote union 1 equal to 1. And yeah, so can you see here key spaces and data stores? So here I need to tell you there is a no limit, so the developer would have not kept limits. Okay, so this kind of information has to come. Okay, so that's why I'm not trying to put here 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma or null that column size. Okay, in case I have those restrictions. Okay, so I should be able to do this particular what is that 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma, I have to find out. Okay, so these are some things which I need to take care. So here there is no limit, and that's why I'm just able to see here. I believe everybody can see here, right? So please comment it out whether you're not able to see this particular one. Maybe I can increase the zoom. Yeah. Okay, so when you run those things, you'll be able to find out which data store or what is it is stored. Okay, the key collections. Okay, so this is very important. Now let me so this is one way to do it, and let me try another one, the meta. Okay, so every data stores, okay, will have some meta information. Okay, so data store is nothing but a deployment. Can you see it? Server cluster deployments. So they will contain the metadata information. Okay, so why metadata information is stored? Because I told you, right, there will be very bunch of many clusters where when the big data means they use the map reduce to do heavy intensely. So that's why they have metadata. Okay, so that we can access very faster. Okay, so now what we are trying to do is we are abusing it. We are just trying to get out the information as much as possible. So the same concept, same thing we are doing. Okay, uh, one, let me put here. Okay, So now if you see here, you can find out the different details like individually. Okay, so can you see here, name 357, name Abi Brew, so different names. Okay, clearly what is the website, uh, what are the details, so you will get full information about the particular documents which is present. Okay, uh, so earlier when you tried, you got a bunch of things. Okay, you don't know what we are doing. Okay, to make it more curator, what we did is we had taken particular key store. We are trying to understand how these documents are stored. So with the help of key spaces, so what we did union. So here we did not do any 1 comma 2 comma 3, since it is giving all information. So in case if there's a limit kind of a thing, then we will do like earlier, one union failed, 1 comma 2 failed, then again we might try this. Okay, so that is the one more reason. So once you see here where you're able to find all, so this next command in data store which contains the meta information. Okay, so that's why we're able to pull out all this extra details which we are getting it from. Okay, so again, when we are doing this in kind of an attack on this particular couch database, it's important to understand how this documents are stored, how the hierarchy is there. Okay, so whether you want to pull only the documents or you want to pull out the key spaces also, to understand which server is hosting which document databases. Okay, and finally, if you want to see in the data store what are the meta information is there to pull everything, you can get the same thing. I mean, issue the commands. Okay, so these are some basic commands when you come across any different application, let's say mostly big data application or any different kind of things. I know we are not going full in depth, so it just since it is 1 hour, so we are just trying to understand what are the different ways or various means we can approach our problem. The reason is, once you get an application, so you have to immediately figure out, okay, is this SQL or is this NoSQL? Okay, so is this NoSQL means is it MongoDB or is it CouchDB, or what type of format are they going? Are they going in XML? Are they going in JSON? Okay, so if we get a 3 days or 4 days, what are the different kinds of attack I can do? So see, sometimes you get this kind of an errors. Okay, so there is a NQL map which is there where you can use it to do the automation for the similar to SQL map. Okay, so these are some different ways and formats you can approach or solve the problem. Okay, in terms of NoSQL injection. Okay, MongoDB and what do you call the Couchbase database. Okay, so to summarize what we did earlier, one, MongoDB and bypass. Okay, just you understand what are different logical operators which is there and use that to bypass. And second thing, use the CouchDB and again refer what are the different query methods which is available, like encode JSON or key spaces or data stores. Okay, something which is different from the traditional SQL. Okay, and extract the information. So one, we understood where it is mapped, and second, what are the full details we are able to gather. That means the whole information. Okay, so that is about the NoSQL. Okay, and so this is pretty, I believe everybody would have always come across the server side injection. Okay, if we take, so whenever we are going to test an application, so either you will come across ASP.NET or Node.js, or either you will come across the Java application. So you will come across various kind of different frameworks. Okay, and each company or each client, each frameworks will, let's say programming languages, will have different kind of adoption. Flask, Python with Flask, or Spring Boot with React.js, or Angular. Okay, or Python with Zynga. Okay, so there are different types of templates which is available. So if the templates are there, okay, is it possible to send the data, I mean malicious data where the template accepts it, and it sends to the server side. Okay, so that's what the main intention is here. Okay, the templates. Okay, so this is what I was trying to tell you, the different templates: Smarty, Pebble, Jade, Ninja 2. Okay, so Twig. Okay, so we have to, so initially when we get an application, so we have to be sure like what kind of templates are they trying to use and how they are functioning. So it's very much important. The reason is you will get an application and it might have some 30 pages or 20 pages. Okay, so how do you find it and where do you find? So that is very important. So normally you can client side validations. Okay, the templates will be much higher. So for example, comment boxes. Okay, or sometimes what do you call search boxes. Okay, so there might be different ways where you can see those information, or the blogs, okay, or forums. Okay, so these are some different vectors where you can go and check out how these guys are, how these templates are used and it's working. Okay, so first, always same thing, detect whether what are the input you are giving, it is reflecting. So if I'm having a search bar, I mean, if I'm giving something, it is displaying the same thing. Okay, so that means, okay, something I'm giving the input and it's displaying in the website. And other thing is, and again, you should understand which template they are running. Okay, so either in a different CMS or whatever it may be. So you have to understand what kind of a template they're running. So example, in Laravel with React.js, or Laravel with Angular, okay, or Laravel with I mean any other different Jade or something. Okay, so we have to understand like what kind of things they are using it. I believe Jade is for JavaScript. Okay, and finally, once you do it, go again, read the document, what they're trying to say, and again exploit the same thing. Okay, and try to give as much information as possible so that we'll understand whether what type of an error we are getting it. Okay, to in order to find out whether which kind of vulnerability is there in that particular database, you can always give this particular payloads. I believe everybody will be having it. So you try this different variables. Okay, and then you'll understand, okay, if 7 into 7 is if you're doing and the JavaScript is implementing and giving the result, so either it may be Zynga 2 or Twig. Okay, or it may not be unknown, so we have to find out the unknown case separately. Okay, and similarly if it is comment, so it might be a Smarty. Okay, so based on different payloads, we'll come to understand what are the different types of templates is being used. Okay, so let's go for a demo and check it out. I believe let me open this. So this I have taken one of the open source slides. I mean open source application. Okay, let me try. So again, I told you there are different types of commands which is available. You can try the same. Okay. So let me once again. Where is okay, let's try the first one. Okay, so basically I'm trying 4 into 4, and in that we are trying 5 into 5. Okay, so you can get the same payloads which is available, which is present in the different payloads in GitHub. Okay, so you can try and see whether it is working or not. So if you see here, when I give this 4 into 4 or 5 into 5, at least I'm able to see. Can you see 4 into 4 is giving an execution and giving a result. Okay, that means what I am trying to do, it is getting executed and I'm able to see the result. Okay, okay, cool. So now next what I will try to do is, let me remove this and let me try config dot item. So now let me try config.item. So if I try config.items, I can see the list of things which is available. So they are giving me secure cookie false, none. So it is in production, debug true, secret key, and all this information I'm able to get. So it's like, for example, you go and do your SQL injection, right? So when you do SQL injection, you do database, or you do version. Okay, so it gives you database and so version information. Similarly, we are doing the same thing, but in terms of we are doing in the what do you call um, application and the framework. Okay, so if you have a doubt whether what kind of an application it is, okay, so always go and check whether, okay, go to the network. Okay, once again, let me make it a full screen over here. Okay, can you see it? It's Python. Okay, so I didn't say it before. Sorry. Okay, so this is a Python one, so it might be using some flags on this thing. So based on that, you take the particular code. Okay, which there are many payloads are there. First, try this one and see. Okay, and yeah, so that means our codes are getting executed in the server side templates. Okay, so now let me go back. Okay, so the first one I will try is a base class. Okay, so this is one of the command which is there. So obviously what we are trying to find out is what are the different kind of classes are available. Okay, so it is saying Zynga 2, I don't find any objects or classes. Okay, so generally what we are trying to do is once we found out is using Zynga. Okay, so can you see it? I just go to the particular website and see what are the different types of classes it's there. Okay, so if you see MRO, it helps you to go look up the base classes. Okay, when you have subclasses, again from down you can go and check what are the different types of subclasses are available. So our intention is what is here is to find out whether we can write something in the server or not, or injection. Okay, previously in MongoDB what we saw, we bypassed it. Okay, and Concentra what we did, or CouchDB what we did, we extracted as many information, sensitive information as possible by using some 3 or 4 commands. Okay, by understanding their structure, what is key space and all. Here what we are trying to do is our main objective is to inject something. Okay, put some information in that particular column or in their web application. So in order to do that, I need to understand what are the classes is available. Okay, so that's where this classes comes into play. So with the help of MRO, I can go into inheritance up to base classes, and subclasses I can check. So if I want to find out read or write method, okay, so I can use these two combinations to write it. Okay, so that is the intention here. Okay, so that's why when I give the particular area, where do you call, so when I give this subclass, class base subclass, okay, I was able to execute it. Okay, now let me try the one. Okay, let me try. So what I'm trying to do here is, now let me make it a bigger one. So what I'm trying to do is just let me copy paste and okay, now one, let me try. I'm just traversing and to find out what type of classes is available so that I can try to use it. Let me try to. Okay, okay, let me try to. Okay, okay, so let me try to. Yeah, so when we try the 2, okay, the option 2, So I'm able to see the list of classes. Okay, so with the help of this list of classes, what I can do is I can try to read or write. Okay, so our objective is right now is to find out whether we can inject something, right? So let me based on this. So if you see here, so let me make a change in this particular one. Instead of hello, cheat. So basically, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to write a particular file. So if you see here, uh, in case normally what you can do is www where html where you can put the particular file. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to write a file. Okay, in that I'm writing this particular content. Okay, so if you see here the two which has particular all the classes. Okay, so these are some different classes which are available. So in that I'm choosing some 40th location in a particular class and I'm giving the parameters the arguments which I need to pass here. Okay, so let me see whether it's getting executed. Okay, let me make it a big screen here and enter. Okay, so I don't get the result, but I believe I didn't get any result here, but I didn't get any error also. Okay, so now in order to find out whether whatever I written it is being written or not, okay, we'll check that out. Okay, so what we'll do is so can you see here the next command here? Next command here is, can you see config class? I'm using the globals one, and here I'm using open, that means opening the OS command, and then I'm trying to do ls. Okay, so and in that read. Okay, so now let me try this and find out whether whatever written is, yeah, can you see it? g.txt is written. Okay, so generally what we are trying to do here is we are trying to understand whether I'm able to uh, inject any function or not. Okay, so once I injected, okay, I'm just using one more command to find out what type of I mean whether it is injected or not. So I'm using this globals to find out open and ls and read. Okay, so this is a by like this what you can do is you can put any nc, or you can write any python file and you can load it. You can try ssrf or xsf, I mean xss, sorry. So you can try all the different methods in this application. Okay, when they are vulnerable to ss server side injection attacks. Okay, so if you felt that Ajit, I mean it has been bored, I want to do automation wise. Okay, so you can use this tquel map. uh, okay, you have this one more tool, uh, the tquel map. Okay, so whatever the attacks you're doing here, right, so those attacks can be done. Okay, so you no need to do this. So when you run this tool, okay, automatically it will find what type of engine it is. It is a python or Jinga, I mean the programming Jinga, and next it will try multiple combinations and you can doing the same attack. Okay, so it is a tquel map if I'm not wrong. Okay, so that is the one. Okay, so these are some references which I have taken from. Okay, so I believe I gave the all information over here. So one thing I want to say is to summarize finally. Uh, the main objective here is today to understand what are the different injection methods in a non-traditional way. Traditionally, you have SQL, and non-traditional, what are the different ways? One is MongoDB, and other is Couchbase, whether the backend, how they are storing, and how the information are extracted. And final is like the server template kind of an injection, whether this injection can be escalated into OS level kind of an attack. Yes. Okay. So these are the the summary about, and all the references I have given here. So any questions of Any doubt on this thing? Any questions? Any doubt?
I guess there are no questions. So maybe we can wrap it up. It was a great session, by the way.
Okay. No questions?
No, there are no questions as of now.
Okay. Okay. So, yep.
Okay, so thank you everyone for attending the webinar. Hope you got some really good insights, and thank you, Jeet, for sharing some great demos, live demos for the audience. And I hope they'll got to learn a lot. And if you have any queries, you can reach out to Jeet directly. Jeet, can you tell your email address if possible?
So yeah, it is jeet.kumar@niconsulting.com or at iasecurity.com. Okay, both.
Yeah, so you can reach at info@niconsulting.com and pose your questions to Jeet. We shall forward and connect with him directly. So thank you everyone, and thank you, Jeet. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.